روضة المختار
Then we look at, very importantly, we move on to something, the condition of the world at the time of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, just before his birth. What was around? You had the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire stretched Asia, Syria, what we know as Palestine today, Egypt, North Africa, and it had its headquarters in the east, what is known today as Istanbul, Turkey. And it was known at that time as Constantinople. The Byzantine Empire was part of the Roman Empire. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes mention of this in Surah Ar-Rum. There is a whole surah in the Quran named after the Romans. They existed at the time, they were there. And who else was there? You had the Persians in what we know today as Iran. The Persians, the bulk of them were fire worshippers. They used to oppress their women in a very great way. And as for the Romans, what happened to them? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. If you take a look at the story of Jesus, may peace be upon him, you will find how the Romans persecuted him, and how they were tyrants, and how even the wars that happened between them, they oppressed the working class to a great degree. There was a lot of strife. They were dirty people who did not know how to clean themselves. Up to very recently, you find some of the kings of Europe even were proud that once a month they used to have a bath in public. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala safeguard us. Once a month you have a bath. Allahu Akbar. We thank Allah for sending Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. It's important for us to make mention of this, because you won't realize the gift that we have until you see the darkness that the globe was in. A lot of what we see today as civilization was brought by Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. They don't know. Why? They hijacked it, they took it, then they blamed us to be the hijackers. Allahu Akbar. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala open our doors. So we have here the Persians. They used to worship the fire. They used to worship many other things. From amongst them also we had some who worshipped idols, and some who worshipped people, hierarchy. And there were so many different types of confused people. If you look at the Romans, after a while, when Christianity came down, you find every king that came, he changed the Bible. And proudly they would say, King James version of the Bible. That means this is a version of the Bible which that king made, and he brought it forth. Then another version of the Bible. This man came, another man came, he changed it. That Pope came, he changed it. This is why today we have more than 36 different versions of the Bible. The Christians themselves cannot unite upon one. And we say this with due respect. It's a fact. So, as things were changed in order to suit the kings of the time, there was chaos and confusion. People started adding and subtracting until they raised Isa alayhi salatu wassalam, or Jesus, may peace be upon him, to the level of godhood and made him part of the Trinity. For your information, the Romans also fought, or the Christian denominations fought each other. They fought the Coptic Christians in Egypt as well. Why? Because of who was Jesus? Was he a part of a Trinity? What happened to him? So amongst the Christians they began to fight, because that king added something, this Pope added something, this one added, and the others are saying, but we don't know what we would term today bid'ah. It's something new, it's innovated in the deen, it's come here, we need to take it out, and wars took place. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from innovation. Then you have the wars that took place between the Romans and the Persians. And this is also mentioned in the Quran. These wars were from a long time, and for your information, the Persians were considered more powerful, but each one feared the other. And sometimes this one won, sometimes that one won, and it took place for a long, long time. Then you have the Indian subcontinent, where we have the Hindus and the Buddhists, those who worship the Buddha. And the Hindus, as you know, hierarchies. They worship people. You have the clergy, the Brahman, right at the top, and then you have the others coming down. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala safeguard us from worshipping people. Inna Allah abta'atha Muhammadan liyukhrij al-ibad min ibadati al-ibad ila ibadati rabbil ibad. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam to remove people from worshipping other worshippers to worshipping the Rabb of the worshippers, the creator of everyone else. So we are not supposed to be worshipping the created. We only worship the creator. When I put my head down on the ground, whom am I putting it down on the ground for? Only the one who made me, no one else. Whoever made me, I owe him my head on the ground. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it from us. Then we have some of the other civilizations around that are mentioned in the Quran, and some of the previous nations that were within the Arabian Peninsula. You have the people of Saba in Yemen, and you have the people of Ad and Thamud who were also in the peninsula. The people of Ad were in a place known as Ahqaf, slightly south of Mecca, or south of that part of the Arabian Peninsula, and the people of Thamud were slightly north. And these were the people, and as you know, there was also at that particular time the Jews, the Christians, the fire worshippers, as I mentioned, the Buddhists and so on. And then you have the people of Mecca and the Arabs of the surroundings. Who were they?